What is up, everybody? And the first thing I want to get off my chest real quick is I want to apologize to the streamers that I baited or anyone that I baited into this video. The topic of this video is revolving certain comments made by certain people, and the reason I'm apologizing is for making it baity and to making it aggressive, and to just say that that's not what this video is truly about. I really want to create a dialogue. So one, I appreciate you even clicking on the video after being tagged and seeing this. So, thank you. And two, I hope you give the rest of this video a shot so we can have some good discourse. But, I don't want to keep this long. I'm trying to keep this short. So, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Flame078, and this is Perspective Gaming here with another Apex Legends video. Season 6 just dropped, and I'm here to talk about, or really live react to certain comments I've seen online from some high profile content creators or people about the game already. They just kind of blew up on my Twitter that I just saw, and I kind of just react and give my thoughts about that. That is what today's video is about. It's about discourse, it's about conversation. It's not about putting anyone down. There's some validity, there's some truth to what's being said, but there's also some things that are wrong in my opinion. But with all that being said, let's just get right into the video. Let's just get into the live reaction. All right, so first thing we're gonna start off is Forever Shredded 8. Starting something light. The way I structured this video was to be bait, to be aggressive, to I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, trying different strategies. I'm not the usual baiter type. Clickbait is not really my thing, but just trying it out just because this thing really irked me in the morning. But to start something light, I'm sorry, but this doesn't feel like Apex. I'm playing Call of Duty Laser Warfare, and it's just funny. Shout outs to you. I love comments that speak truth but are just funny. That's just a way to be positive about things that are actually negative. And this speaks to the energy meta that we're going to be discussing a little bit later, and why people are unhappy with some of the changes that are going on in season 6. But shout out to you for just being a laughing moment in some of my Twitter feeds this morning, because geez, some things were like getting me heated. First thing, the tweet that I want to cover is rest in peace, Apex. Thank you for the amazing times. Because of this game and all of you, in 10 months of streaming, I was able to achieve 1300 on Twitch, peak at 750, and meet amazing people. 4K hours, but I can no longer put time into this game. Thank you. This was from Exodus, a top player, 60k, an Apex streamer for Harsh Reality GG. And all this good stuff, a known content creator. Not for me personally, I've never heard of this guy in my life, but the reason I wanted to start with him proper was, I think this is a good way of being cordial and shifting, and that people like to misconstrue. And this line right here, rest in peace Apex, when I first read it, I didn't read it as he was saying the game was going to be dying, and stuff like that. And some of these comments are just kind of like annoying. They're attacking, like, what? Like, he's just moving on to a different game. And the way I read it is, it looks like season 6 didn't sell him on trying to continue playing the game. And it looks like this decision was a long time coming. It wasn't just my god, I'm done, flip the thing. It was his decision, and it sucks that people are being annoying to him and being stupid about his decision. I think the way he tweeted this is fine. It was his opinion. The way he's gone about his career is totally fine too, and people need to freaking grow up. People can stop playing a game just because you like it. Doesn't mean they have to stay, right? So just wishing Exodus the best. I thought it stuck out to me because of that. I thought it was really nice way of put it, acknowledging the success he's had, but saying he's moving on. Imperial House. So this is one of the first critiques that I really want to dive into. Season 6 impressions: gun meta is trash, and skill gap doesn't exist. So no on one, yes sort of on the other. So the gun meta is changed. Would I agree that it's completely trash? Not yet. Still only 24 hours since the release of the damn season, but there is some truth. A lot of guns are now easier to use because they've been increased damage. The recoil has changed a little bit. The Volt as an energy weapon already is coming in with little to no recoil pattern, so it's really easy to control. So this aspect of the gunplay where you can easily shoot and stay on target as long as you're not totally mediocre and like fat thumbing your stick or mouse or whatever, that there is truth to that. All the guns feel really good to use in that way. But to say there's no skill gap, really? Nah. This is going to be a theme around a lot of these tweets, and I just don't agree. There is a skill gap. And that simply is because though you've increased all the weapon pool to allow a player like me, all right, someone who gains about 10 hours a week, so right now strictly Apex, has over 4,000 kills in a lifetime since day one. You know, I'm a low to average player, right? Giving me the chance to be able to just pick up a gun and shoot you and kind of hit you does not guarantee me beating you in a fight. Like strictly 1-to-1, like this comment, I love losing a 1v1 to a kid with a Devo. Then dude, you probably are not that good. Speaking from experience, when I like, especially since I played a lot of ranked, the thing I notice a lot what high skill or what I consider high skill players is their movement and my inability to track them with any gun. And the Devo, regardless of whatever it is, if I can't track my enemy, I'm not going to be able to hit them consistently, which means they're going to have a chance to hit me and kill me. So yeah, I'll have a chance to lose a 1v1 with a Devo, but if I can move out the way and that guy is not a good tracker, I can still win. You know, that all of that is what I consider a skill gap. That there is one. There is more than just aiming and shooting. It's tracking. It's staying on target. Like same guns. For example, say I have the Devo and the other person has a 301. If I'm hitting body shots, and this guy hits all headshots, I'm probably gonna go down faster. Especially if I like the minute I like miss a target and a couple bullets miss. That's just my experience. Like there's no way. Half the time I still have a tendency to miss half my clip, have a tendency to start shooting and then get on target. Like these are things that consistently low to average skill players do, that even with this gun change, it's not going to change them from doing that. So I think it's very short-sighted to say that there's no skill gap just because the guns have been boosted. I do agree that some of the changes were like head turners, and I do agree that a lot of guns now are viable because they're easier to use, but to say that there's no skill gap, no. On the same kind of note, Zeus says lower, again, something about lowering the skill gap, make it easier for casual players. In what way? I can pick up a gun and use it better? Sure. That does make my experience as a casual player better, but it's not going to take me far long term. I'm still going to lose. Like my chances of losing to a high skill player is still the same. If they can move better, if they can track me better, if they can rotate around me better, I'm still going to lose. Low to average players are not thinking about these things. They're not thinking about how to engage or disengage. You know, so they're going to make lots of mistakes when fighting against high skill players, that high skill players should be able to take advantage of my mistakes all the time. So this idea that this gap is lowering, I don't agree with. I think it's still there. It might be because of the lobbies I'm playing. It might be on the platform that I'm playing. So there is bias there. I'm a PS4 player. But there's just, I don't realistically see these changes reducing that at all. Deltouche, weapon balancing. Again, talking about the weapons, which I do think he has some merit to, right? With the Devo being on the ground, I think a lot of criticism that I've seen online outside of these tweets is the Devo being back. I agree that it's annoying. I agree that the turbocharger is a crazy thing that makes a gun super OP. So I agree that probably remove the turbocharger. Without the turbocharger, the Havoc and the Devo become guns that good players can use, bad players I struggle with the Havoc and the Devo. That charge up kills me half the time, because in that time, specifically because I'm not aiming well, I'm not tracking well. The other player just hits a couple of shots on me and I'm going down, especially with the time to kill. So I think Daltouche and those concerns from streamers and content creators are absolutely right. If they were gonna make a ground loot, I think they should have made a ground loot without the hoppo, and I think people would be less uppity about it. Again, the casuals don't like high TTK, so again, talking about casuals enjoy all weapons, making them all viable, which is true. This is what I like. It's shit for high skill players, but I don't really get that. I don't get why it's bad for high skill players. When their game doesn't change much, they can still rock and dominate with any gun, right? Instead of now being dominating with the R99 PK, now they can just dominate with whatever gun they feel like. And then me, as a scrub, has a increased chance of taking you out. Again, all these scenarios that I'm talking about is like, I'm talking about like a 1v1 or a team fight, a 3v3, like low average versus high skill players. How that's going to play out is, you know, who has a better coordination. If you're a 3-stack team, you're probably going to win because against 3 randoms. Where's the coordination? You know, me as a low skill player, if we somehow focus fire on one person, yeah, sure, we're going to win because we focus fire. But the same is true the other way around. Like if you guys focus fire on us, you guys are going to win. The stuff about the TTK, I think we just have to wait and see. I like the change for right now. It changes things up. But to say, sorry, what I will say is I never mind or did mind the high TTK. I always thought that was a really cool thing about Apex Legends and something I strive to adapt to and get better at, right? It's something that made it unique in that way. But I don't think making it lower, you know, increases the gap that much. And, you know, on positive note, you know, Respawn throw me at any changes. It's all about adapting, trying to see what's good to the player, and, you know, moving on, right? I think it's way too early to complain like these people have complained, saying that the gun meta is trash, saying that this game is dead, or saying that this game is over. You know, I don't necessarily agree. It's still too early. It's way too early. Let's wait to see how rank plays out. Let's wait to see how the rest of the season plays out to really figure out what's going on. Hard agrees, like hard truths that these content creators are saying. Energy weapons are a bit of a problem. They're a bit of a mess. You know, I agree with that. We should change that. Making the all guns viable, you know, I agree with that change. You may not like it as someone who sinks 8 to 12 hours into the game, but I think that's a good change. It makes the game better for me. And what people understand is we drive the player base. We're the ones who make this player, not you. There's only so many of people who grind 8 to 12 hours in a game. You're not that many. You need to relax. So, but you know, your criticisms are still valid. You sink that much time in, meaning you have a better understanding of the game. So for sure, your opinions, you know, should be taken into account. Not a lot, but they should be taken into account because they're valid. And I think every one of these people have the right to say what they said, and I think they're right to some extent. But, you know, viewing their opinion against coming from my angle, where I'm just coming home from work and playing a little bit of Apex, like, you know, I don't view the game the same way. I still think that good players are still going to beat me. I don't view these changes as, because that's one of the things, like the whole, just to break down the skill gap thing, like to me, when they say no skill gap, or they're complaining about that, what that should be translating to, in my opinion, is that means me versus a Daltouche. We go 1v1. That means our chances of winning is 50-50. And there's no skill involved. Because it's just a matter of like, all right, did I hit my shots? Cool, done. You know? but it's not 50-50. That's not true, because tracking, movement, legend abilities, team coordination, those are what make you succeed. All of those combined is attributes to your success in fights in Apex Legends. The changing of the weapons don't give me a better chance. There's still other things that I have to work towards to be better, to compete with a Daltouche or with a TSM player, or TSM Hal, sorry. And these changes, in my mind, the time that I've played on it, haven't made it so I can win against these kind of players easier. I don't know. I don't get why they see it that way. Maybe because the chances of them just getting sprayed and prayed is easier, but that happens regardless. The same could be true the other way around. Like, that's like me getting mad for you spraying and praying a Spitfire at me, and me dying. Like, that, it's a really weird argument and position to be in. You know, but yeah, I don't see it. I'm very excited for these changes, and I'll be breaking down these changes a lot more, so please make sure to hit the subscribe button to catch those. And if you're one of those streamers that I tagged, the people that I talked about in this video, and you're still here, thank you for sticking to the end. Appreciate you. If you disagree with anything that I said, or expand upon your thoughts or opinions, or, you know, take me down a peg, feel free. Tweet me or leave a comment down below. Would love to have more conversation about it. But yeah, that's what this channel is about. That's what we're about here. We, the gamers who don't game a lot, you know, view games differently and approach this specific game differently. And the note I want to end on is everyone's opinions that are just here, whether you agree or disagree, are valid. Everyone has the right to their opinion. Be civil. And it's just a game. Enjoy the game. Play the game. If you don't enjoy the game, don't play the game. I don't know how else to make it simple, but that's it for me. It's just kind of like a little rant reaction video. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll catch you guys very soon. Adios.